Hello and welcome to the maiden edition of the Hard Truth Show on Star TV. My name is Atikbaja Eric Salikem. Today, our guest on the show is the Deputy Communication Director for NDC in the Hohoe constituency. My name Mr. Prosper Kumi, popularly known as General PK. I'll introduce him just after this commercial break. Welcome back, Mr. Kumi Prosper.
Thank you very much.
How is the opposition faring?
Well, we've been on top of our game. The people of Ghana wants the return of the NDC back to power.
The people of Ghana want the return of the NDC?
Yes. Actually, in 2016, we lived with a lot of lies and propaganda and phantom promises that were not realistic. We explained to Ghanaians, but they did not see it that way. They wanted a try. President Akufo-Addo said they should try him. We've done so. We are in almost 3.5 years of his reign. We have 4 years of that for him to do. He's been doing it, and we've seen a lot of failures around us. So generally, when you see the people,
is it the party NDC that has seen a lot of failures around them, or is Ghanaians in general?
The party NDC has Ghanaians in them.
Oh, okay.
So we are all Ghanaians, and I believe that when you listen to the general public, when you listen to the sentiments, if you even speak to some people in government,
there's a feeling that
you will realize that a lot of them are even disappointed in their own government.
Well, let's descend to the Hohoe constituency. What is the party doing internally in the Hohoe constituency to be able to either present a PC, or what's happening in the internal politics of Hohoe?
Eric, unfortunately, we have been surrounded, like I said from the beginning. What happened to us in 2016 is currently happening to Hohoe. Huge lies and propaganda. Let me just quickly give you an example. Less than 1 kilometer of road was done from Bla police station to just after the Hampton Hotel. There were 2 quick lies that have been put out there on social media. That from Hohoe to Likpe Road, 99% done. If you go on social media, I have some things like that here.
From Bla police station
to Likpe.
To Likpe.
Yes, it's 99% done this morning. I have it here. Maybe when you go on commercial break or something, I could quickly have you see that. And then the issue, we know that road is under urban roads. Where the municipal assembly is in charge. Okay. It was awarded in 2019 with other roads in town.
Okay.
When you go to Belave, I have some of those roads out there that are supposed to be either resurfaced or
awarded by this government.
Yes. Okay. I don't have any doubt about that. But it is under urban roads.
Okay.
A municipal assembly project.
And so what's the lies about it? It's if it has been awarded by this government.
Maybe you should allow me to learn.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Because you asked issues of parliamentary candidates.
Yes.
But what we continue to see in Hohoe hugely is that every single thing that happens around us is about the candidate of the MPP. So this road was also being credited to him. And you see some journalists going out there, taxi drivers, road users are thankful to that individual for fixing their roads.
Road users in the Hohoe municipality are thankful to the parliamentary candidate or the PC hopeful for the MPP for the construction of this road.
And sometimes when you hear some of these things, the issues about the stadium, the other time when I saw the billboard, what I saw was that this particular candidate is the coordinator of the project. I really do not understand which aspect of our constructions that we have a coordinator, probably a foreman. They just package the name nicely. A lot of things do happen, and that is the picture that is being painted.
Okay, so to you, you have been able to detect that most of the developmental projects that are going on in Hohoe are being ascribed to the NPP parliamentary candidate.
Exactly the point.
Those are probable false.
Yes, exactly the point I want to make, because governments are supposed to release common funds to us, and we know some of these projects are supposed to be assembly projects.
Okay.
That is the truth around, but deliberately that is being done. But Eric, we have a solid candidate who is determined to ensure that no discrimination is tolerated. He has been a unifier. She is a candidate who understands development, and she has that track record when she served as the municipal chief executive. I'm talking about Professor Margaret Kweku.
Okay.
And generally, as far as NDC is concerned in Hohoe, we are presenting an alternative that is not contestable. We are presenting track records that you cannot challenge. We are presenting a personality that is humble, not just in Professor Margaret Kweku, but in President Mahama. We are presenting very sharp candidates that will move Ghana forward.
So on the ticket of the NDC and then the PCO for Hohoe constituency, the NDC's candidate is Professor Margaret Kweku.
Yes.
And the NDC thinks that Professor Margaret Kweku is a better candidate compared to Honorable John Peter Amewu, who is on the ticket of the NPP. And you have track records to show that. Okay,
yes.
Maybe some other time we'll be delving deep into
that.
The current MP for Hohoe constituency, Honorable Bernice Adiku Helu, what has he used some of our funds for that you think that the NDC should be given the opportunity again into the parliament?
Actually, Madam Bernice Adiku Helu is not a candidate, so maybe presenting the situation that way may paint a different picture. But I can quickly just point to some few things for you.
So because I want to know, because if the NDC has someone in parliament now, and the NDC still wants another person to go, the person must build on what the first MP has already done.
Yeah.
And so we want to know some of the foundations she have laid down for the professor if she wins.
Okay.
To be able to build on. So we share some of them with us.
Oh, of course. For the first time, in terms of accessibility for vehicles and motorbikes from Fodome Ahon to Vletoji, it has never been accessible as far as cars and motorbikes are concerned. It was during the regime, I think she's still the one now, it was during her regime that we've seen some surfacing work, some grading works, where that road is supposed to have been worked on for the people of Vletoji. That is a huge project. It was not a work, but she was able to lobby for that to be done. Today, if you go to Ghana Education Service, one MP, a lot of people will be proud of in terms of supporting young people who wants to go to school, in terms of paying their fees, in terms of making sure there is some level of leverage for them as far as school going is concerned. Tall list of people. And there are classroom blocks that have been built in this constituency using the common fund of the MP. If you go to Likpe Agbozome, if you go to Likpe Todome, if you go to Vegbe, you will see some of these things. If you go to Alavanyu Agome, some of these things are clearly out there. Between the space when Professor Margaret Kweku was the MC and our current MP was there, that was when we could find chips compounds dotted around Hohoe municipality. If you go to Aklamafu, you will see one.
Okay.
If you go to Kojope, you will see one. These are developmental issues. Quickly, just recently, where our baby mothers go to for weighing around the high court, you see that that place is being renovated, well fenced around, so that other projects are made available for the place to be comfortable for our mothers. It is being done by the current MP.
All right. So based on this, some of these foundations that have been laid down, you think that if the people of Hohoe constituency gives the NDC parliamentary candidate in the person of Professor Margaret Kweku, she'll be able to do better?
Yes.
Well, so we'll see about that. The electorate have to decide about that. So,
of course.
That's Mr. Prosper Akumi, who is the Deputy Communication Director for the NDC in the Hohoe constituency. He's also known as General PK. That's a popular name you can mention for him in this municipality. So we'll be looking at some of the issues that came out of SONA. We'll be looking at some of the issues that came out of SONA. And the first one we'll be looking at is the economy, because the economy is very important. And one of the punchlines that the president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo brought out during the State of the Nation address on the 20th of February 2020 was the fact that 5 billion cedis has been released for these defunct savings and loans companies and banks to be able to pay the depositors money, and that is a very good initiative. Your response to that quickly, and let's move on.
The economy being the backbone of every nation, when the economy is good, the people generally are healthy. Educational system is well focused on and people benefit from it. It is very important. Before I come to the point you've made about the defunct banks and the savings and loans, I quickly want to remind the president and the MPP of the promises they made to Ghanaians on the economy.
Okay.
When they were campaigning in 2016 to take over power.
Okay.
They made 4 critical promises. One is for them, borrowing is a lazy man approach to running an economy. 2, they'll reduce taxation. 3, they'll reduce the cost of doing business. And then the fourth one, critically, I'll speak to it when it is just a transcend of these 3 that I've mentioned.
So you think they've not been able to do that?
Yes, the records show. For example, if you tell me that you were not going to borrow, there is money in this country and that we're going to rely on that to develop the country. And today, the records show that you have borrowed more than all the government that have ever existed from Kwame Nkrumah to 2016. You have borrowed more than them. And at the end of the day, there is nothing to show for it.
Really? You think there is nothing to show for it?
Eric, what can you point at?
Free SHS is in progress.
Quickly, the first year of free SHS only saw the first years benefiting from free SHS. Yeah. And that was not up to the 1 billion they have been quoting. Because when the full flesh of free SHS came on board, they were spending just a little over 1 billion Ghana cedis annually for the free SHS. Now, the last budget that was read, 3.56 billion has been invested into free SHS. So the 3.56 billion was what was spent on free SHS since its inception. We are talking about a government that has borrowed over 110 billion. I mean, including the current bond.
And so, this is the same government that, according to you, they are not going to borrow.
Yes.
But they've been able to borrow to do this thing. To do this free SHS and other work
that is why
and the international some international companies that are known for giving out these statistics are recommending or are showing confidence in the economy, saying that the current government is doing well with the economy. And so if the opposition or the NDC is saying that they are not seeing any improvement, you have to convince us with that.
Eric, you are a Ghanaian within the space of Ghana. I don't know what international bodies you are talking about.
Moody's is an example.
Moody's, what was the rating of Moody's? Moody's actually did not
confidence in the economy.
The fact that you showed confidence does not mean that we've made any progress. In fact, Moody's rating as at 2015 gave us a B+. Today we are B- higher. We are actually reduced. So the fact that there is confidence in the system, and if you listen to IMF, Eric, IMF is talking about a situation where Ghana is at risk in terms of debt sustainability. That is the reality on ground. And quickly, let me just finish with the free SHS thing.
Yeah.
Look at 3.356 billion Ghana cedis. And you have borrowed
3.56 or 356. You are talking about, it's two different things.
3.56 billion Ghana cedis.
All right.
And you are looking at somebody who has borrowed over 100 billion. I am including the current bond that was just subscribed to.
Which is?
There was a bond that was just subscribed to that the government went in for.
Okay.
So the point is this: if you've borrowed that huge, and all that you can ascribe to is free SHS that has not even spent 5 billion. Eric, what are we talking about? And have you seen the reports on free SHS and its management? Let us not even push. We are talking about the economy.
Yes.
Is that not it? So let's get back into the line.
Quickly, let's.
So I was just talking about the borrowing.
Okay, so from there you move on to the financial sector.
Exactly. Exactly. So as far as the borrowing space is concerned, this government has been borrowing, it has been stifling the space. Our purse is full, yet for only chop chop. That is what it is that we have. And our debt levels are threatening. Look, the fourth thing I wanted to talk about is the stabilization of our cedi. And Dr. Bawumia is on record to have said that if your economy will be good, those were not the exact words. It is the foundation of the economy is sitting on how much you have been able to handle your cedi. Today, picking it from 3.9, we are around 5.2, and that 5.2 is actually
directly
yes.
That when your fundamentals are weak,
yes,
the exchange
rate will expose you. That is the fact. So today the exchange rate is exposing the NPP.
When we talk about managing the Ghana cedi, comparing the NPP regime to NDC regime, don't you think they've done better than you in terms of you took it from somewhere 1 cedi 80%, when you were leaving position it was around 4 cedis.
Eric, don't forget that we're giving real promises. When we come, we will do better. So that is very significant.
Okay, so you
and today, of course, today, right. If the cedi has moved from 3 cedis 90 pesos, and it has hit 5 cedis 75 pesos, and thankfully, we have a virus sitting within a space where chunk of our business is done. I mean China. And because of that, we have come to around 5.2. I don't think we are proud of it as a people.
All right.
And it's affecting business. Look, even Togo here. Let me just quickly mention the Togo here. The CFA. And you know a lot of our people do business with Togo. CFA today is hitting 9 cedis 50 pesos.
All right, 9 cedis 50 pesos. On that note, let me go for a quick commercial break and I'll be back and then we'll continue.